Hey everybody, today's review slash demo is going to be on this knife, the Ontario Blackbird sk5. This is the McCarter version, not the G10. I got this one in a trade a little while ago, and so far I've been really impressed with it. I gotta tell you right off the bat, as my preference has changed and developed, I know that I don't like flat ground knives for wood anymore. They just create too much drag when you're trying to baton through them, and also they don't bite in as nicely as something like a convex ground knife or a Scandi knife. And I primarily use Scandis for that, and the only flat ground knife I really like using for wood is that old K-bar I showed in an older video. But so far I really like this as a food prep knife. It's really awesome. 1/8 of an inch thick is more than plenty robust for, you know, whatever you're trying to do with it. And there's a big difference from seeing this knife, you know, online and pictures and stuff, and actually getting it in your hand, because people said, like, the handles look blocky online. They honestly do, but I can tell you right now, they're extremely well rounded. You cannot feel the transitions between the metal and the micarta. The G10 might be different, I don't know, but they've done an extremely good job with this. And such is the case on that heirloom knife I showed a few weeks ago at this point. So some of the things they got right on this knife was, again, 1/8 inch thick. They didn't need to go any thicker with it. They included, you know, the sharpening tool right there. Very nice. It helps you get the whole blade sharpened. I didn't sharpen this one yet myself because I haven't had to. I've just been cutting food with it. You know, this thing holds an edge pretty well. But the previous person, I don't know if they did it or this is still the factory edge, but either way, it's still very good. The handle is 5 inches exactly. Let you see how much my hand is sticking out there. That's probably from here to here. That's probably like 3/4 of an inch. So again, this handle looks extremely long online, but getting it in my hand, it's not so bad. It's extremely comfortable in the chest lever grip in this way. So, you know, you can pull away like that. It's very comfortable because that curve goes right into the webbing of your hand, and then it just seats really comfortable. With or without gloves, this thing is very comfortable. If the micarta gets wet, it's very secure in your hand. I forgot to measure this blade width, but it has to be at least 1 inch wide this way, which again just helps facilitate slicing. Real quick, show you the sheathing options that I got with this one in the trade. I got this nice leather sheath, right? It came with a dangler, but I took it off. I prefer more tight belt carry for that. And it also came with the kydex sheath, which is nice. So now I have experience with a Kephart style blade and a decent kydex sheath, and I gotta tell you guys, I really like kydex, but you have to get the real freaking deal because it's gonna scratch the shit out of the blade. When I got this one, it had several scratches on both sides, so I feel like he probably got this one right away and saw that it was scratching up the knife, and then he got the leather sheath, or maybe he got the leather sheath and noticed that it does rattle a bit in this one and went with kydex. I don't know, but I just throw my 2 cents in. So we're gonna do what we did in the heirloom video. We're gonna peel some fruit, talk some shit, and let's get started. This is the world's toughest beat today. There we go. This blade is like 1/2 inch bigger than the heirloom knife blade, but since this one is more or less, it's closer to a drop point than the trailing point on the heirloom knife, so it's more comfortable to use in this fashion. Because at trailing point, the tip goes up past the spine, and you can't like hold it up here to help you cut through wood without getting poked by the tip. These not so nice. Alright, that looks okay. For anybody that's worried about me cutting myself doing it this way, I've been doing it this way for a while, so I know how to maneuver the blades that I'm using in this fashion, but it really, like, the knife just coming in contact with your skin isn't going to cut you, so that's not going to cut me. That's, you know, that's a bit of the juice from the beet. But if I'm doing this when it comes into contact, it doesn't have to be very hard. It will cut you. So these are all just like straight contacts into my skin. So again, it's not really gonna cut me. Just thought I should mention that. When I do knives like this, I'm gonna try and not do specs because there's a sort of a wide fan base for this, so there's a lot of videos of it already, but I just like to do videos like this where I cut food. That's a good show of a knife, you know, because not everybody lives on the edge of the woods, you know, not everybody can go baton 7 logs, and everybody can go chop down some saplings with their knife. So this is for those people, you know. Because as much as we all want to be Dave Canterbury, and I'm a fan of his channel and his time on Dual Survival, that show's pretty awesome. But you know, again, we don't all have the luxury of being able to just, you know, go out into the woods and, you know, mess around for a couple hours, you know. And I got a chest hair in the apple. Fantastic. So despite being an 1/8 of an inch thick, this thing goes through food like nobody's business, man. And doesn't have jimping. You can modify this if you want. I've been thinking about it more and more for my Enzo Necker, and I just almost cut my whole hand open. I've been thinking about it more and more for my Enzo Necker, just because it's a smaller knife and I would appreciate the extra little bit of grip. But if I ever do it, you know, again, I'll post that in a video, another update video. But this one, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on it. I gotta let you know. Also coming up, I might be doing like a woods pack video, like where I show you what I would have in my pack, like, as you know, as far as blade systems, going out into the woods, because I do want to get out into the woods and, you know, try out some axes and stuff. I have a pretty big collection, just because I like working on them. But as far as being used, you know, again, I don't live near the woods or anything like that, so I don't have a real use for axes at this point. But, you know, hopefully that'll change. This cuts just as well as the Enzo Necker, if not better, because of that wider blade. It allows you to get a really fine taper to the point. Unlike, there's a knife I'm going to totally shit on in the near future, and there's going to be a whole video dedicated to it, just, you know, so you guys can watch out for it. It's a really expensive knife, and I'm just going to let you guys know what is horribly wrong with it, because I went and I spent a shit ton of money on this knife, and it was fucking garbage, and I was so pissed off, man. But I had done so much to it already that I couldn't just, up and return it, because the steel was so hard and the geometry was so fat that you could not put a fucking edge on it. And, it was just such a waste of money and time and effort and everything. But, I was finally able to trade it to someone, and, I got something I really liked out of it, so I'm at least okay with that in the end, So, so as you can see, this thing, it even, I call this pseudo skinning because it basically is skinning, but animal flesh I'm sure is much harder, tougher to deal with, not harder. The last part of this is the carrots, but there's not much to show on camera for that, so I'm just gonna end this real quick with some final thoughts. This blade has a big cult following, as it should, because this is a proven design. It's a well thought out design. Shout out to the creator of this knife. He did a really good job. I might get the sk4 in the future, but again, I gotta see what lines up for me. I can't just go buy another knife, but I really like it. If you're going to have one knife to have on your belt in a variety of situations, this is a pretty solid choice. 5-inch blade. The utility of a 5-inch blade beats the comfort and sort of finesse of a 4-inch blade, but if you're limited to a 4-inch blade in your area, obviously you can't carry this, get the sk4. But if you're able to carry this into the woods or whatever, this is a really nice knife, man. And again, with the variety of sheath options I showed you, you can make this knife whatever the hell you want it to be. Make it incredibly personal. As always, I appreciate everybody stopping by, watching the videos. Any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. Share, subscribe, like, it helps me out a lot. It lets me know what you guys like, what I'm able to, keep producing for y'all. And as always, have a good one.